Hi everybody, this is Shelly and I am here for another Faux Hobonichi flip. Today is the first day of October, so I'm going to do my September flip. And you'll notice right away that my cover is different. It's the same book, and if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, or if you're in any of the same groups that I'm in on Facebook, then you'll have seen this already. But you can see it's getting nice and fat. You can see how the spine is starting to stretch out a little bit. So I wanted it to just be protected a little bit better. So I followed Tippa Childer's tutorial on YouTube, how she did the, what are these called? My mind just went blank. Page protectors. These are just page protectors for like documents or whatever. And I'll show you here. I reinforced the edges with washi, but these aren't going to last forever. I probably need to get a little bit heavier page protector, but for now it's working. I just printed off some pictures and slipped in the inside. I have Doctor Who and Sherlock, and I added some washi to the bottom. And then I just used clear packing tape to put the two pieces of the page protectors together and covered it with this washi. I mean, I used clear packing tape and covered it with washi. I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I did also, I'm not going to take this out because I can't put it back in one-handed, but this white stuff right here, because this is rounded and the page protectors are just maybe 1/8 of an inch, you can see 1/8 of an inch bigger. I didn't want the cover to bend all up, so I took a long time ago, I bought a package. I think it was 100 of these. They're called comic book boards. You can get them on Amazon, and they're fairly cheap. But they're, you know, like if you go to a comic book store and buy an older comic book that they put in a sleeve, they'll put this board behind it to keep it from bending. So I cut it to where it fits exactly into this page protector. And when it's closed, it goes all the way to the corner. And so that keeps this from bending. So like I could potentially throw this in my bag or whatever, and this cover is not going to get all bent up. I don't take it with me anywhere unless I want to do journaling like at school or whatever, but normally I don't take it with me. So yeah, it's Doctor Who and Sherlock, and that can be easily changed. So, you know, if I get into a mood where I want something different on there, then I can just print out new pictures and slip them in. So let's start with September. Here's my month spread, and it looks a lot different than my past months. I just put little hearts in for the days that I went to the gym, and I wrote down the days that I subbed. I did not go to the gym very much this week, or this month. I'm getting a little bit better this week, and last week I did 3 days. 3 to 4 days is going to be my max at the gym, and it's taken me this long. This is the 7th week of school. It's taken me this long to kind of figure out my routine, and all 3 kids are riding the bus now, which makes it a little bit easier for me to get to the gym. I was taking Dylan to school and picking him up, but he's been riding the bus, and that makes it a little bit easier. But just being a mom, having 3 kids in 3 different schools, then I'm in another school, all of us having, you know, I'm doing my own homework, having to help a 5th grader with his homework. It gets to be a little bit overwhelming, and so I'm just trying to kind of ease myself back in. So yeah. So I didn't even do any totals or anything, and so we'll just leave it at that. September started out with Labor Day, so I just printed a little picture here that I thought was cute with just little characters with different professions. And then my mother and father-in-law and Jake's sister and husband and her kids came over, and we grilled for dinner. And I made the Pioneer Woman apple dumplings, and if you have never had those, go Google it, search on Pinterest, find the recipe and make it. It is one of the best desserts I've ever had. You just wrap slices of apple in crescent rolls, and then put them in a pan, and then on top is just melted butter, sugar, and Mountain Dew. It is the best. By the time you cook it, it's like all glazy, and I think you put cinnamon on top. But it was in with vanilla ice cream when it's warm. It was one of the best desserts I've ever had. So the next day, I had school, and you'll notice a lot of Starbucks this month. I had a lot of Starbucks this month. So yeah, I go to the library. Well, here I was still taking Dylan to school, and so I would drop him off at school and then go to the school library at 7:30. And then, you know, just hang out and do homework and stuff until 9:30 when my class started. But I got my first paper back from my children's lit class this day, and you'll notice here that I got 100%. So I was really, really happy with that. And then that night we watched Oculus, and it was a really creepy, creepy movie. If you like Doctor Who, Karen Gillan from Doctor Who was the main character on that. The next day was Wednesday, and I started my observations for my education class that day. So we have to do 24 hours of observations this semester, and we do 8 in elementary school, and we have to split those up between 4 elementary schools, so 2 hours in each elementary school, and then 8 hours in middle school and 8 hours in high school. So I started at the school that I worked at last year and did 2 hours there, but I did an hour in the kindergarten class, and she had all these animals in her class, so I took some pictures. She had a lizard, a ferret, and a hamster or gerbil, but I couldn't see it. It was all covered up. Then Jake and I went and ate at Panda Express for lunch. The next morning before I took Dylan to school, I went and got an iced coffee at Chick-fil-A, and it was pretty good. It wasn't as good as Starbucks, but it was pretty good. And then, I started on Labor Day. I woke up that morning with a sore throat. And so these days I'm not feeling really well. Normally I could tell when I wake up with a sore throat that I'm going to get some kind of sinus or, sinus allergy thing or like bronchitis or something. So I wasn't feeling very good any of these days. We started watching Graceland, so I put a picture in here of Graceland. And then by Friday, I did a little picture of all the medicine that I was doing. I was taking Advil for the headache, NyQuil because I was coughing all night, so I was taking NyQuil at night, allergy medicine, and then I was doing these airborne, like effervescent tablets, and so I just drew that. And you'll notice here is where it starts, where I had gotten behind on my Hobonichi. I believe at the point that I started filling in these days, I was 13 days behind. So you'll notice a lot of cards, not a lot of pictures because I hadn't taken pictures those days. And so I just what I did was I went through each day and wrote down what I did, stuck it on a sticky note, and then I started putting in the washi, putting the cards down, and whatever pictures I had, I was putting them on, and then I ended up taking this with me to school and filling out all the writing, which actually worked out pretty well. So this day I actually had gone shopping too. It was the day that I went planner shopping, and I actually did a video with my haul from that day. This day was Saturday. We got up and went grocery shopping. I had planned out all our meals, so that was a really easy thing to just go shopping. I spent the rest of the day working on schoolwork. My 2 online classes, one class, everything's due on Saturday, or everything's due by 5 on Sunday. The other class, everything's due on Monday. So normally on Saturday, I'll work on everything that's due on Sunday, and then on Sunday and the rest of Saturday, I'll work on the things that are due for Monday. But I will say this, I took the online classes in the hopes that it would make, so I wouldn't have to be on campus 5 days a week. And that it worked out all right for that this semester, but I'm having a hard time not keeping up, but being motivated to do it before the weekend comes because I'm so busy throughout the week. And it would be a lot easier for me to take a class on campus and sit and listen to the professor than it is to, have to read everything and kind of just do everything on your own. So I don't know that, unless I absolutely have to, I don't think I'll take any more online classes. Sunday, I have selfie Sunday. Sunday seems to be the only day I ever take pictures of myself. I think it's because I'm usually dressed up. I have makeup on and everything. And I had straight hair this day, so I took a picture because I don't wear my hair straight very often. I don't care for it straight. The length of it bothers me. I just think it looks better curly. So yeah, I took a picture. And then we had gotten rid of HBO when True Blood was over, but we still had one more episode of Leftovers that we didn't get because they skipped a week. And what we do is we just get the premiums during the time that the shows we watch are on. So we switched from HBO to Starz so we could get Outlander. Well, the weekend that the finale of Leftovers was on just happened to be a free preview weekend. So we were able to watch the finale of Leftovers when it was on. And then this day I subbed, and I just happened to look down in my bag that I took, and every single thing in it was pink. I had my pink binder, my pink Filofax, a pink wallet, pink makeup bag, and my Kindle case is pink. So everything but the bag itself was pink, which was really funny. So I wrote about that a little bit. Nothing else really happened that day. I just subbed. And then Tuesday I had school. I went to the gym. It's funny because this is kind of what my kitchen table looks like pretty much every day. After all the kids get home from school, I'm doing something on my computer. Bailey has her computer. She's a freshman this year, so all the high school kids have computers in our school district. That's how they do their lessons. And then Dylan and Colton. Colton's doing homework, but he has his tablet. He's listening to music, and then Dylan's playing a game. And then we watched Falling Skies. And then this day, I spent the whole entire day doing observations at the middle school and the high school. I had a paper due the next day, and I had a bit of an issue getting my badge to be able to go do my observations. The college requires a background check in order for you to have clearance to go into the schools to observe. Well, I work for the schools district that we're observing with, so I've had a background check. I paid to do fingerprinting and all that, but it wasn't the same background check that the college requires. So my teacher didn't know whether I would have to redo it or not, and it ended up, we waited so long to find out for sure, because they kept sending it back. And so by the time I finally got my badge and was able to start observations, I only had a week to do 8 hours of observation to do this paper, because the paper was over the first 8 weeks. So I spent 6 hours in the middle school and high school observing that day, and then I was up till 1 in the morning writing my paper. So this was our first home football game, and I am not a football fan normally, but the whole school spirit and everything, I decided I should probably go to the first football game. And then we watched the finale of Graceland, so I put a picture of my favorite character, Johnny, in here. His name is Manny Montana. And I just love the storyline that he had this season, so he was my favorite. And then this day, I subbed all day, but I had a review for this book due on my blog, so I just printed a picture of the book because I didn't have anything else that I had taken pictures of that day. Oh, and I went to the gym that day, too. I didn't have any pictures from this day either, and it was my niece's birthday party, so we went over to my sister's house for Melanie's birthday, and we also went shopping that morning for her present because I'm like a total procrastinator, and that's how I shop for presents usually, is the day of the party. And my other sister's birthday was that day too, so we went and got her a candle at Bath & Body Works. And then Jake and the boys went to the races with his dad that night, so Bailey and I were home. And so we went and ate dinner at Panda Express, and then I had to work on something for my technology and education class, so I had to make my first lesson plan, and I used Prezi for the first time, which was really fun, and I actually ended up getting 100% on that assignment. It was Sunday again. I painted my painted my fingernails. It's actually the same polish I have on right now, which is really chipped up right now. But this Wet n Wild polish is my absolute favorite. It's cheap polish. I mean, I can get it sometimes for $1, $1.50. It's Wet n Wild Mega Last, I think, or something like that. But it has like one of the kind of flat, wide brushes that I like, but they do not carry it in black. So I got this color, and it's called Disturbia, and it's a really, really deep purple. And I don't know if you can see, it's awfully chipped up, but it looks almost black. It's pretty much the closest I can find to black, but the purple is really, really pretty. So this day, our our modem decided to start going out. Actually, it started on Saturday. It would work for a little bit and then not work. So I called AT&T, and I'm like, you know, this is what's happening. Well, your hardware is bad. So it's not under warranty. He's like, we can send you one for $100. I'm like, I am not going to wait to get a modem. If I'm going to have to buy one, I'll just go buy one locally, because, you know, I have 2 online classes. I have assignments that are due and stuff. I can't wait 2 or 3 days to get a modem. So we started looking for one on Sunday, and the only one we could find, we have cable, DSL. We don't have cable. We have DSL. We ended up Monday going and buying the one at Best Buy for $100, but yeah, it finally went out completely on Sunday, so we had no internet on Sunday, but luckily I had gotten all my schoolwork caught up, so we also watched Haven that night, and then our regular Sunday shows, Outlander of the Strain, all of those. So yeah, this day I didn't have a sub job and I didn't have school, so ended up going ahead and going to Best Buy and buying the modem, and setting it up. And we had to get a modem with a wireless router and everything already in it, because it was the only one in town that we could find. And I had a presentation due this coming week, and so I just couldn't be without internet. I went to the gym, and we burned my new candle from Bath & Body Works. It's called Harvest Gathering, and it smells so good. I watched Under the Dome, and the last season 1, was really good. We only made it through 2 episodes, I believe, of season 2, and we ended up deleting the whole entire season from the DVR because it was so bad. This day was a school day, and I ended up spending 12 hours on campus that day. I started out at the library at 7:30 working on a paper that I had due that day by 5, and it was one that I could email, so I was able to finish it up on campus and not have to print it out. But then I had a presentation, my first presentation due. It was like a 20 to 25 minute presentation with 2 partners that was only assigned exactly a week before the date that we had to present, which I think is a really crummy thing to do, by the way. So if you're a college professor, give your kids their assignments sooner than 1 week before they have to try to, it's hard enough as a college student, because the 2 girls that were in my group they're on the dance team. One of them works full time, and then I'm a mom with 3 kids. And so when you're trying to juggle that many schedules, it takes longer than a week sometimes. So we ended up spending 5 hours in the library to do our whole presentation. We didn't get to practice it or anything. So yeah, that was a day that I think I ended up drinking 2 venti white chocolate mochas that day. It was crazy. I needed like tons of caffeine to get through that day. And then I was home the next day. I worked on some dividers for my Etsy shop, and then I sent out a package with some rack stuff to one of my friends that we send racks back and forth. And then this is the day you'll see here that I started going in and adding everything into my Hobonichi, and then I took it with me to school to do all the writing. And then this is the day I had my presentation. We did it on Prezi, so that was my second Prezi. I ended up getting a perfect score on my presentation, which was super awesome. The 2 girls in my group each got like a 38, I think, but I got 40 out of 40. We went downtown for Third Thursday is a thing, like a art walk thing that our town does every month, and people always bring their animals. And I will tell you that I am not an animal person. We had a cat for a couple of years, and the cat like freaked out one day and like attacked me. It like jumped on my head and like scratched up my scalp and everything. It was like horrible. I ended up having to go to urgent care. But yeah, so I am not an animal person, and I don't particularly like dogs. I think dogs stink. I'm sorry if you're a dog, you're an animal person. It's just a personal thing. I just don't like animals that much. But this dog right here, it's a huge black Great Dane, and this dog I would take home with me. It's beautiful. If I ever got a dog, I would get this dog, or a dog like it. The next day was Friday. Let's see, what did we do? I subbed at the high school that day. If you're a sub, you will know this. The best class to sub is one that has a student teacher. Because I walked in, and I had met the student teacher before, and I knew there was a student teacher in that class, but I didn't know how far along they would be in their school year, because they're only like 4 weeks in, 4 weeks in at this point. And so I walked in, the teacher was still there because she was in the building for meetings that day. And she said, Rachel's going to be doing the whole class this day, so you can just sit here at the desk and hang out. So I got paid to do my homework that day, which was pretty awesome. And then we watched the finale of Rush that night. This is another one of my favorite shows. I think I don't even know, it's on USA, I think. Then Saturday, I did homework that morning. I don't even think we went, what did we do? I got my order from Amazon. That was the Le Pens. Jake took the kids to a cat show, which I think is super weird, but they really liked it. And then we went out to dinner for our anniversary. Our anniversary is on the 21st. And then we just went out to dinner and went shopping for a little bit, but we came home so we could watch the Outlander wedding episode, which was pretty awesome. The next day was our 18th wedding anniversary, and you can see here that I kind of did the whole page and then realized I didn't do anything about our anniversary, so I put it down here on the bottom. It's our 18th wedding anniversary. Sunday, we went to church, went to eat lunch and dinner with my sister-in-law and her husband and kids, and then I did homework. We got caught up on some of our shows. Sunday night, we always watched The Strain. This was the day that we just decided we were going to delete Under the Dome. Monday, I worked on a set of dividers, and this was the day I got my Malden, and so I filmed an unboxing video. The Malden has been my dream Filofax since I got into Filofaxing. I watched a video, and I don't even know how I came across it. It was a Haley Kairos video. She does her Malden setup, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love that. And I don't even like brown. I don't buy brown purses. I don't buy brown shoes, but I wanted that brown, the ochre Malden. And so I finally got it. That was my anniversary present. So yeah, I got it that day. I met Jake for lunch, went to Dollar Tree and Hobby Lobby, and I picked up some new washi tapes. These are all Dollar Tree washi tapes, and then I got this set at Hobby Lobby. I went to the gym that day, and I had to renew my Student Prime. I got Student Prime when I first enrolled in college, pretty much. And it was they do a free 6-month trial for students. So if you're a student, I think you have to be I don't know. You may be able to be a college or a high school student. You just have to have a school affiliated email. But yeah, it's $39.95 for a year, which is half the price of regular Prime. But during the trial period, you don't get any of the streaming stuff. So you don't get any of the TV shows. You don't have access to the lending library or any of that until you get the paid one. So I went ahead and got the paid one because I do a lot of stuff with Amazon, and I've ordered books for classes and things like that. So I started watching Teen Wolf on the Amazon Prime. So I really like that I can do it on my Kindle too. And then today, the 22nd, is actually my husband and I, it's the 22nd anniversary of our first date. So we actually got married the day before our 4th anniversary. So he brought me a bow tie festival from Johnny Carino's for our anniversary, which is one of my favorite things to eat, and it was so good. And then the 23rd was Tuesday, another school day. Started out at the library with coffee again, of course. And I don't get my coffee at the school. I just drive through Starbucks usually. But our campus library where I go in the mornings, if I go to the library, it's the coffee shop in the library, and it's actually a Starbucks coffee shop. But it is a school affiliated, so like they don't take Starbucks gift cards, which is what I use. I fill up my Starbucks gift card so I can get the points on my thing. I'm only 2 or 3 away from gold right now. So yeah, I was studying for my government exam this day. So I had this huge stack of note cards and I was studying for that. And I put here, I think I did okay on the exam. I'm hoping for at least a B. And then I went to the gym as soon as I got out of class, and I'm been taking my Kindle, and I've been watching Teen Wolf episodes while I'm on the elliptical. So I just set the elliptical for 45 minutes, and then by the time it's done, my episode is over, which kind of keeps me going the whole time. So there's my workout times, and then I made dinner, and then we rented Blended, and we watched that with the kids, and it was pretty good. And then I put here, we watched the new episodes of Sons of Anarchy after the kids went to bed. I am so ready for this show to be over, and that is so true. And every week, it just reinforces it. It's the show that I watch that I do not like, but it's almost over, so I just keep hanging in there. Wednesday, I was out of school all day, so that was the day that I made my cover for the Hobonichi, and we watched the series premiere of Forever and season 3 premiere of Nashville. This day was a school day. Dylan rode the bus, so I didn't have to leave so early, and so I started doing some pages in my Midori, which I haven't done in a really long time. So I'll have to do a flip of that before long because I've added quite a few new pages recently. Jake brought home dinner, and we watched The Other Woman, but Colton went to his first dance at the middle school, this night. They didn't have school on Friday, that's why they had a dance on Thursday night. So we were home all day Friday, the boys and I. Bailey had school that day because they started school the high school started a week later. And so they're having to make up 5 days. So this was one of their makeup days. So this was the day that I read somebody's blog, somebody who posted on one of the Filofax or Midori or one of those groups, and she was talking about NaNoWriMo. So I decided that I'm going to do NaNoWriMo again, which is probably the craziest thing I could possibly do. But so I made a little insert to put in my Filofax for that to track my stuff. Bailey spent the night with her friend, so I did go to the gym this day too, and let's see, Bailey spent the night with her friend, and then since she was going to be gone and I knew she wouldn't care, the boys and Jake and I watched Captain America: The Winter Soldier, and I really liked it. I liked it better than the first movie. And then Saturday, just kind of a relaxing morning. Jake worked. I worked on journals and did homework. I went to a football game again that evening. And then Bailey and I left at halftime with my mother-in-law. We went shopping for a little bit. And then when we got home, we watched the mid-season finale of Outlander. And I think it's ridiculous that they are waiting till April to show the rest of the season. Because where does that put season 2? Because if it's not until, summertime when season 1 is over, when are they going to air season 2? No idea. Okay. Sunday, I decorated pages for my Filofax. We watched a new show. Well, it airs after Doctor Who, and we have like 6 or 7 episodes on our DVR now, so we watched Intruders. It was pretty good. And then this is the day I got, and this was Monday, I got these little bookmarks that I ordered from Etsy, and they are so adorable. They're like little magnetic bookmarks. So I got 2 Sherlocks and then the 3 set of the Doctor Who. And so I just put the little business card in here, which I think is super cute, and just journaled behind it. And then I got these 2 books for review. This one is actually, the review is due next week, and I'm kind of annoyed that they waited so long to send it to me because it doesn't give me very much time to read it. And then yesterday, school day, I had my first exam in Children's Lit. I hope I did good on that. But I got my government exam back, the one I talked about back here, and I actually got a 96% on it. So I was really, really happy with that. Went to the gym after school, and then I started season 2 of Teen Wolf while I was at the gym. And so I watched 3 episodes of that yesterday. We watched the newest episodes of Sons of Anarchy, Scorpions, and Doctor Who, and I wrote a little bit about Doctor Who in here, and I know I'm getting kind of close on, you know, my time is kind of long, but I'm just going to talk about this for a second. I've been a Doctor Who fan ever since I watched the first Christopher Eccleston episode. I did watch a few when I was a kid of the old, you know, vintage Doctor Who's or whatever, which weren't vintage then, but but I have loved every transition. Like when Christopher turned to David and David turned to Matt, I loved every one of those characters. Matt Smith was my favorite. And I just wasn't sure that I was going to like Peter Capaldi as the Doctor. And it's not necessarily to do with his age. I don't know. I have not connected with his character at all. There has been something like endearing about each Doctor and it's something that hits you at the first episode that they're on. Something that they do, some quirk of their character, something makes you like them. That has not happened for me this season. And I find the new Doctor very off-putting. I think he's crotchety. He's really scattered. His character's really scattered. I know that with each body comes a different personality, but his personality in this season is just not good. I mean, to me, I am not finding anything that I like about him other than his coat, which is horrible. There's something, I can't put my finger on it. I don't know if it's the writing this season or what, but I'm hanging in there for Clara and Danny because I really like both of their characters. But Clara's leaving after the Christmas episode, and so I don't know if I will keep watching. I'm really curious to know if you're a Doctor Who fan, and I know that a lot of my viewers are. I would like to know what you think of the new Doctor. If you like him, why do you like him? I want to know. I cannot find anything about his character that I like, and it doesn't have anything to do with him being, you know, not Matt Smith because I liked Matt Smith or whatever. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I'm not finding anything about him that I really like, and I think the storyline has not been good this season. I don't know. So that is all I'm going to say about that. So that's the end of September. I've been doing really good once I got caught up with all these pages that I hadn't been doing. I stayed caught up to the point where I was actually doing a lot of them that evening instead of waiting till the next day, which is what I normally do. So I'm going to try to stay caught up, and if you've hung out with me for the last 33 minutes or so, I really, really appreciate it. And I hope something in here inspired you. Be sure to share and like and comment. I try to respond to most of the comments. Last month was just really crazy, so I'll get better at that. But yeah, if you have any questions, ask them. Be sure to subscribe, like, all that fun stuff, and thank you for watching. Goodbye.